political editor for the Daily Express, Sam Lister, and another political editor this morning from the Sunday People. That's Nigel Nelson. Welcome back to you both. One last look through them. Nigel, let's start with you. The front of the Telegraph featuring Harry and Meghan, who are due to come over to the UK soon, but perhaps may not see Her Majesty whilst here.
No, apparently not. And it's the ongoing row about their security. So at the moment, because they're no longer royals, the feeling has been that we shouldn't be paying for massive security for them. So they're coming over here next week for two engagements in Britain, one in Manchester and one in London, another one in Dusseldorf, and they've got a couple of days free where they could actually go up to Balmoral and go and see the Queen. It doesn't make clear from the story why security should actually prevent them, on the basis that if they're okay in London and okay in Manchester, surely in the wild estates of Balmoral they'd be okay up there. But I think it's just part of the pressure they're trying to put on the Met Police to actually give them some protection. If the Met thought they were at risk, they would get protection anyway, regardless of being non-royals. They just can't have it automatically.
Right, interesting. So you think they're just making a fuss about nothing?
I think it is actually pressure to try and get the close protection officers they want.
Okay.
We go to the front page of the Mail, Sam. Hospitals hit by 5.5 million day bed blocking crisis.
Yeah, and I think this is a story that will really resonate with many of your viewers, and it's certainly something that my family have experienced recently. And it is this case where you have an elderly relative, they go into hospital for something, and then they cannot be discharged because there's not the social care to look after them outside of hospital. So the medical side of things has been dealt with, but the general care that they need can't be provided. And the government is actually looking at recruiting nurses and social care staff from Sri Lanka and India. That's making visas more easy to obtain. But obviously there is such a deep crisis in social care, and it makes the point that actually you can earn so much more, you know, in supermarkets or as a delivery driver than you can in social care. And it's a massive problem that whoever becomes the next PM is going to have to really address very, very quickly, because we cannot go on like this.
All this nonsense that we don't need foreign workers, and we've got all these job vacancies that nobody in this country seems to want to take. And when I was in hospital 6 weeks ago, honestly, I would say 70% of the staff were Filipino. They were just, and thank goodness for them. Right, so that costs 5.5 million quid a day, does it?
Yeah, and it's saying actually it's the worst month on record. 13,500 hospital beds, 1 in 7 where people could have been discharged.
But also, it amazes me that the NHS and the social care are not joined up. They're not one. Just one unit, but...
Governments have always talked about making it more integrated, but nobody's ever really been able to make that happen. And social care has always been this kind of Cinderella service compared to the National Health Service. And actually, it's quite interesting, Liz Truss, she's talked about, obviously she wants to scrap the National Insurance hike, which Rishi Sunak put in place to deal with all these issues. She's saying that can all be dealt with through general taxation, but she wants to divert the money away from the backlogs into social care. Obviously, if you've got the backlogs, you still need to deal with those. So we're not quite sure how she intends to do both things.
Okay.
Nigel, this story in The Guardian is really interesting. I think if there's any journalists watching this, it'll send shivers down your spine. It has for me. Police officers reportedly being told to confess if they know a news reporter.
Yeah, I think it's terrifying. It's bad news, not just for us journalists, it's bad news for the police. This is from the College of Policing, have been putting out this guidance saying that not only do they have to say if they know criminals or extremists, but equally journalists. And the whole thing is that we both help each other. I was a crime reporter many years ago, and I remember an occasion where I was about to go out to look at some odd goings on in a street nearby, and I thought I'll make a call to the police and see what's going on. And they said, whatever you do, don't go down there. They were mounting a major surveillance operation against organised crime. Had I gone down there and gone knocking on the doors, it would have blown their operation completely. So it's that kind of cooperation that works, and the idea that police will be frightened of talking to journalists, which is what this suggests, will make life bad for both sides.
Yeah, you we only have to look at what's happening in Liverpool and, you know, this murder investigation into Olivia Pratt-Corbell and the role the media have played in the police trying to appeal for names.
This is the point about the cooperation. Yes,
this is a real example.
Yeah, I mean, you're not asking the police to give away something that's secret. What you're saying is that you have a cooperation, therefore you must build a relationship with certain police officers, and this would stop it.
Yeah.
We go to the Telegraph. This is page 5 in the Telegraph with Sam, and this beggars belief, really, that to prove someone is dead, a doctor has told the widow of this man to actually film the body in order that he can dispense a death note.
It's so shocking. I mean, hopefully it is a one-off, but essentially there was an 80-year-old man who was being cared for by his wife at home. He had cancer, he passed away, and she called for the GP to come out and certify the death. And she was told, we don't come out to certify deaths anymore. You need to do a Zoom call or some kind of video call. And luckily she had a friend with her, and the friend kind of took over so the GP could look at the body on video. I mean, it's so utterly
So what does that prove? You could film Nigel now and you'd think he's dead.
Just tired.
It is horrendous. I mean, so how do you certify a death if we don't send doctors to certify death anymore?
You can't do that. You've got to have something there to do it.
Instead.
Well, also open to fraud, surely.
Yes.
You know, I can't pay my bills this winter. I might just
dead.
do a disappearance act, quickly do a GP Zoom, and I'm death certificate sorted. Life insurance payout, job done.
Yeah.
It shows a real I'll film it for you.
We'll try that.
Let's go into the garden now. A fruit hothouse. We have bananas. Do you know, yesterday I was sitting in the back garden, and I discovered that I love a plum. And I took them. I had this rye because my wife doesn't like them chilled, but I had them in the fridge and they were chilled. There's nothing as nice as a juicy plum.
Yes, but it is nicer out of the fridge, and this is a fact.
I agree.
You shouldn't, no, as in not in the fridge.
Oh.
Keep it in the fridge to keep it from going off, but before you eat it, go room temperature, because the flavours are much stronger in all
It's a
fruit
lovely
at room
And then I
temperature.
took the seeds and I started putting them around the garden.
To grow plum trees.
Maybe grow plums. I mean, who knows? I just put them there.
And there's nothing I like more than a juicy peach. Anyway.
In addition to that, you can go with your plums. You can have avocados, figs,
Wow.
watermelons, and possibly bananas. And this is
All my favourite.
very exotic, and all because of our
Climate crisis.
climate crisis. Yes, the record-breaking heat wave. And this is coming from the Royal Horticultural Society. I presume if this goes on, we can go back to the Stone Age and have rhinos, lions, and
Yes.
hippos wandering around the countryside.
Well, we're going to show you a picture as to what this is. Have you got that pig picture? If you haven't, I'll take it. No, we haven't got that picture. It's not there. It's not there. But look, here we are on the front of the Mail here. Who or what is that? Can we get in close on this? No? Where are we? Come on. Oh, God. I'm giving up. Right, where's 3? Where?
Over there.
Over there, right. So who is that? Tell us more, Sam.
Well, it's Lewis Hamilton.
He is a
Why?
funny old fish, isn't he?
I mean, it's just, you know, well, I'm staggered by this fashion choice, but I mean, essentially, Lewis has solved the problem we're all wrestling with here, how to keep warm in winter. It turns out you put on your Nan's tea cosy as a balaclava.
Yeah.
It's got a big furry coat on.
It's like a Teletubby there. Is that what your onesie will look like?
No, my onesie is much more glamorous.
But I think, you know, clearly this is a way to keep warm, but I would imagine Lewis Hamilton's got more money than sense if he's walking around like this, so I'm not sure he's actually affected by the crisis.
Our political editors, Nigel Nelson and Sam Lister, thank you both very much indeed.